Hello students, welcome back to the biology class. So in the last class we did the human genetic disorders. We learned some of the chromosomal disorders, and these disorders are of two types, autosomal and allosomal, or you can say the sex chromosome. Autosomal disorders are Down syndrome, Patau syndrome, Edward syndrome, Cry-Ducat. In these three disorders there is trisomy of any one of the autosome. For example, in the Down syndrome, 21st chromosome is present in 3 copies. So 2n plus 1. Karyotype would be always mentioned in this type. So a Down syndrome person can either be a female or a male. We learned the symptoms also. Patau syndrome, okay, NCERT only has given this one. Patau syndrome is because of the trisomy of the 13th chromosome. So it's again, it could be a male or a female or a male with 47 chromosome, 2n plus 1 trisomy of the 13th chromosome. Edward syndrome is because of the trisomy of the 18th chromosome. So in the same manner, it can be a female or a male suffering with this disorder. Symptoms we learned in the last class. And the Cry-Ducat is a different type of autosomal disorder, because in this there is no number increase or decrease. A portion, you can say the short arm of the 5th chromosome is missing. So it's a deficiency or deletion type of chromosomal aberration, and because of which the child does not survive for long. Just within 1 year the child is going to be dead, and the child cries like a cat mew. That's why it is called as cry of the cat, or otherwise Cry-Ducat syndrome. After this we learned about the autosomal syndromes and allosomal syndromes. And allosomal syndromes, only 2 are explained in the NCERT. Turner syndrome is because 44 plus XO, so total 45 chromosomes, and this would be a female. And there is absence of one X chromosome, and then we learned the various symptoms of these. Noonan syndrome is just like male version of Turner syndrome. So 44 plus YO would be the karyotype of the male, and 45 number of chromosome. Klinefelter syndrome, 47 chromosomes are there, would be a male, 44 plus XXY. And we learned the symptoms. And super females and super males will have females will have extra copies of X, and super male will have extra copy of the Y. Remember that this is one of the main thing, that how exactly these individuals are born. So remember, this is all because of fertilization between abnormal gametes. It could be a normal gamete fertilizing the abnormal gamete, because of which such type of individuals are born in the society. NCERT has only 3 out of these many, so you cover this much only if you are paying attention to only the NCERT. Now today we will start with a new topic, and that is the Mendelian disorder. Now what exactly are Mendelian disorder? Now, first of all, let me read from the NCERT. Page numbers 89, Mendelian disorders. So broadly, the genetic disorders can be grouped into 2 categories, Mendelian disorders and the chromosomal. So we have already covered all the chromosomal disorders. They can be autosomal disorders or the allosomal disorders. Now we are left with only the Mendelian disorders. Mendelian disorders are mainly determined by the alteration or mutation in a single gene. So remember, Mendelian disorder are single gene mutations, single gene disorders. These disorders are transmitted to the offspring on the same line as we have studied the principle of inheritance. We all have learned in this chapter that Mendel spoke about how inheritance takes place from the present generation to the next generation, or from parents to the from the parents to the offspring. So in the same manner, even these disorders are passed on to the next generation. That's why these disorders are also called as Mendelian disorder. The pattern of the inheritance of these disorders can be traced in a family by the pedigree analysis. Most common of these are, so some of the disorders are mentioned here. Remember, this is not explained in NCERT, but because NCERT has mentioned it, so I'll be telling you a few lines about it, because cover everything in slight detail, whatever is mentioned in the NCERT. It is important to mention here that such Mendelian disorder may be dominant or recessive. So there are two types of Mendelian disorder, dominant and recessive. By pedigree analysis, one can easily understand whether the trait is dominant or recessive. We have already done that in the pedigree topic, if you remember, with the charts. Similarly, the trait may also be linked to the sex chromosome, or as in the case of hemophilia. It is evident that this X-linked recessive trait shows transmission from the carrier mother to the male because crisscross inheritance. Now let's start with the first one. Let me read first of all from the notes, then we will cover from the NCERT side by side. So the first one explained in the NCERT is color blindness. So let's do the color blindness first. It's a X-linked recessive character, so it is more found in the males compared to the females. So it's a X-linked recessive character. I think you still remember these points I had explained. Sex-linked characters, if they are recessive, they are found more in the case of male. So the same point. X-linked characters, the color blindness is an X-linked character disorder, and it is recessive in nature. There are types of color blindness. Protanopia, first one to be discovered, protanopia is the red color. Second one to be discovered, green color. Third one is the blue. So red color blindness, blue color blindness, and red, blue, green and blue color blindnesses are there.